Morning. I'd like to explain what I do to take care of my Respironics auto CPAP machine. This helps me to breathe at night because I do tend to stop breathing. I have sleep apnea. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this part off. I have a full face mask, or not a full face, but it covers my mouth and my nose because sometimes I breathe through my mouth, sometimes through my nose. And then I have, when I got this thing, the Sleep Institute gave me a container of wipes that they said were specially made for using with this product to prevent damage. But they also said that my insurance company would be sending me replacements every 3 months. And I was like, well, okay. And I used them. But once they ran out, I was like, that was a mistake. I stopped cleaning this. This isn't the one that I was using back then. I got this in 2017. But I stopped cleaning it like that. For a while, what I was doing is I was taking vinegar, and I would take the vinegar in there and I'd rub it around with my fingers and stuff, and that was okay, to get it all cleaned. But then I stopped doing that even on a regular basis, and that's bad. And I'll tell you why it's bad. Because what ended up happening was I started having this mysterious bumps and stuff in this area here, and it was kind of itchy and kind of red, and it got bigger and bigger until basically it was going all the way down to my mouth, especially on this side. And it was because I was not properly cleaning my mask anymore on a regular basis. You're supposed to do it every week. I was not doing it every week. I got really lazy about it. And so don't do that because it'll cause dermatitis or seborrheic dermatitis there. So what you want to do is, I use these wipes that I got, and they're just fine. I haven't had any problems. You're going to want to wipe the outside, especially this area here where it's in contact with your face all night long. Then you're going to want to get inside there, and you're going to want to clean out the inside. Now, there are some flaps where things overlap, so you want to get in between there to catch any oil so there isn't a buildup, and to prevent fungus from growing. And this can allow you to have these things longer before you have to replace them. They're not exactly cheap. They should be cheap because they're really not made of materials that are expensive, but these companies that make these products, they want to get their money from selling overpriced parts that are replacements. This happens to be made by Phillips. It does pretty good. There are some things about it I don't like. I'll explain those in a separate video. The pros and cons of my auto CPAP machine. So that's done. I'm gonna just set this aside, and I'm gonna move on to the next thing. Now the next thing is you need to disassemble this a little bit. So you're gonna take this from this. There are these two things right here that you just hold on to. And squeeze, and then you can pull that out. There is a little bit of contact here with your breathing, so I'll try to get in there with my pinky finger and the cloth and try to clean that up a bit. But that's basically it. Now over here we've got a two-piece hose, and in order to remove the hose, which is connected back here, I don't use the water basin to humidify the air. You might want to if you're having problems with bloody noses and stuff. But you're going to twist it off, okay? And then, okay, once you've got the hose disconnected, you're also going to want to take the filters out. And they're just in this flap here, along with the wireless communication device that communicates your data every day to the Sleep Institute or whoever you got this through. So you're going to take this out. It's a two-part piece. They say this one is not rewashable, so the only thing that you can really do is do this. These, depending on where you live, You may have to replace these very often. You may not. They cost, I believe it was like, when I got these last, it was like $7 for one. This one's going to have to be replaced soon. I did try last weekend. I did try washing it. It only got a little bit of the dirt off. They're very hard to clean because of the way they're made, or the materials. This one is easy. You'll get a buildup of dust and stuff in here, in that slot there, because that's the part that's where the air is being sucked in. So what you can do is you can turn it over, put it under your faucet, and let water run through it. And actually what happened when I did this last weekend is all that dust that had accumulated just kind of fell out and came out into the sink. Once you're done, you're going to let it dry out. After you've let it dry out, then you can put it back in there. Don't put it in there wet, because you'll be encouraging the growth of both fungus and dust mites. Okay, follow me into the bathroom, and I'll show you what I do to keep the hose clean. Now, this is important because you don't want fungus growing in your hose. So what I do is I'm going to take some vinegar, and I'm going to pour it down into the hose. Yes, I have a large thing of vinegar. It does take me a few months to go through it, but it's a lot cheaper than buying tiny bottles. Then you're gonna want to get some warm water, and you're gonna want just a little bit there, maybe a cup or two in there, and then you're going to take the ends, and you're going to have one end go as low as it can, and the other go as high as it can, and then just repeat back and forth, basically washing. Now, I do suggest you do this over your sink, not sink, because this is too long for that. Your bathtub, actually, or shower space. The reason is if you look down, you can see water and vinegar have been leaking out through this connection right here. This is not a solid connection because it does have the ability to rotate while you sleep, and so it will leak there. And that's what that is, and it makes your bathroom stinky. So I always go into my bathroom, and I'll just do this over my bathtub, and I'll just do this for about 30 seconds, and I'll do it over and over. And once I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hang this up upside down on a hook or over the shower curtain rod, wherever I can, so that the excess liquid can drain out. Because inside, although outside it's rough, inside it's smooth. So I shake it out and I hang it up, and then in a few hours I'll come back. It'll smell strongly of vinegar in here. So what I'll do is the last step before you let it dry out again is that you're going to run some warm water all the way through that. So I just usually attach it to my faucet, turn it on, let it run until water comes out the other end. Then I'll turn off the water, I'll drain it all out, and I'll hang it up again. And by the time it's time to go to bed, it'll be dry or mostly dry. I try to do this in the morning like I am right now, because if I wait until later in the day, then I'm going to have a problem with it still being wet, and you don't want to have it wet. And you can try not removing the vinegar, but what I've discovered is if you don't remove the vinegar, you're going to be breathing vinegar vapors, which is not a pleasant sensation. It stinks and it just doesn't feel nice. So I do highly recommend that you go and make sure to let it drain, and then rinse it and let it hang out to dry like that. Okay, that's basically what I do every week to take care of it. Now, they did at Sleep Institute recommend that you clean the mask every single day. And that once a week you also wash it with water and with some vinegar inside of that mask. I have been forgetting to do that, but don't forget to do that, okay? So thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.